Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Star Family Wisdom podcast. I'm Jenna and Sinéad, the founder of Star Family Wisdom and a former global vice president for Whole Foods Market. Thank you so much for being here today. If you are new, thanks for giving this podcast a try. And if you're coming back, thanks for being one of our OGs. We can say that now. We've got enough episodes. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, share with a friend. If you're on the podcast apps, definitely rate and review. We want to hear from you. It's been so fun chatting with y'all in the comments. And thank you for all the feedback on the content and the themes. Please let us know what you want to hear about. This is for you. And Star Family Wisdom is a paradigm shifting podcast, community, and modern day mystery school. We are now using the term mystery school, and I'll explain a little about why. Mystery schools have been around for ages. And they're called mystery schools because they're somewhat mysterious in that way. Most of us didn't hear about them growing up. And mystery schools have been a place where initiates or students of spiritual wisdom, the mysteries of the universe, go to become initiated into those mysteries and into the secrets and into the inner workings of the mechanics of existence. And mystery schools have served as a place where people find healing and find the ability to rise to a higher version of themselves and potentially become their full God self, activate their powers as God, and be able to utilize the power of the mind and the body in a way that would be perceived as very supernatural in some ways. So Jesus is an example of an initiate of a mystery school. Jesus studied in Asia and in Egypt and went through the initiation processes that led him to clearing any trauma he was carrying and activating his godlike powers. So mystery schools have been around for ages, and Star Family Wisdom is becoming a modern day mystery school. Our intention is to provide insights, wisdom, information, programs, courses, and lots of free resources that help you on that path of initiation. And it's kind of a DIY mystery school here at Star Family Wisdom. And we're so glad that you're here on this journey. We're here to help you in your spiritual and cosmic transformation. And at Star Family Wisdom, my co-host Sinéad and I, she's not with us today, but we'll be back. We are very passionate about that cosmic connection in addition to the earth connection. So in today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about that. And I want to talk about the process of energy clearing and how we shift and change energy in our fields to experience a different version of reality. And we're going to be talking about a journey that we just took through the star shrines of the desert Southwest in Colorado and Arizona. And if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out the Star Shrines episode where I talk about these sacred sites and some of what we know about how the Hopi understood these sites in the desert Southwest, and how these sites and the alignment with an earth energy line is very similar to the way the Egyptians laid out their temple plan, their site plan for their sacred sites. And we took this journey to visit these quote unquote star shrines or sacred sites, and there are 7 of them, and they are laid out aligned to earth chakras. So around the earth, Mother Earth has energy lines that flow in various ways, and our ancient ancestors, with I think the help of our star friends, understood how these energy lines activated people, and they understood where the most potent energy lines existed. And so the Egyptians laid out their star shrine plan or their temple plan in alignment with these ley lines. And specifically, they laid out 7 sites that align with the 7 chakras. So as you move through these sites, you activate energy in each of the chakras for the purpose of healing and shifting energy that needs to be shifted. And so as we started to learn about how these sites are laid out and the importance and the significance of how we can utilize this earth energy, we decided that we needed to take a pilgrimage and visit these sites, and one, to honor our ancestors and all of those who came before us who have carried this wisdom, wisdom of earth energy and earth cosmic connections. We want to honor those people who kept this wisdom alive for so long, and we wanted to follow in the footsteps of our ancestors, and we have a lot of passion for honoring our origin stories here on earth, the maybe less told origin stories that we believe are the true ones. And so the Hopi here in Arizona have acknowledged and laid out these sacred sites to honor their understanding of the potency of Earth's energy in this area of the United States. And there's a connection with the stars, with the Orion constellation. So go back to that episode, Star Shrine episode, learn all about that. But we took this journey to both honor that past, but to also work with Mother Earth and the stars to shift energy that needed to be shifted, right? We are all on a healing process. We are all moving through new layers of understanding of ourselves, our past, what needs to be healed, what wounds or trauma we're carrying. And we can utilize these sacred sites around the world to do that work, which is really cool. And so we took a journey up to Colorado, starting at Mesa Verde, and traveled down the chakra line, the earth energy line, where these sacred sites are laid out. And I won't spill all of the details on what happened because we'll talk about that in a separate episode. But suffice to say that this journey absolutely shifted and activated energy that we needed to take a look at and that we needed to understand and maybe release or shift in different ways. And so if you're familiar at all with the chakra system, you'll know that the chakras are these spinning vortices of energy in our body, and we have 7 of them, and really 7 primary ones. There are other ones as well, but there are 7 primary ones that we work with, and they're connected to the endocrine gland system. And we generally take on trauma in our chakras. So when we've had a profound emotional issue in our life, or even a past life issue that was not fully resolved, the data or the energy of that is still living in our energy field, and we can access that data via the chakras. And so each chakra aligns with a particular kind of group of emotions or things that we work through in our lives, right? So the first chakra, as an example, is a chakra of tribal connection and community and familial connections and feeling at home in our tribe. And when we feel isolated from our tribe, or we have issues with people within our tribe, our first chakra can carry that information, and a lot of the kind of heavier things in life are generally stored in our lower chakras, and our upper chakras are a little more aligned to our cosmic connections, our connection with our higher self, our ability to see, fully and perceive more, our ability to access wisdom and our ability to trust in life and things like that. So each chakra is aligned to a set of emotional issues and then also physical issues. So if we're carrying a lot of heaviness or trauma in our particular chakra, that can block energy flow, and then we start to develop physical issues, right? So it's all connected. The energy body, the physical body, the emotional body, it's all connected. And when we start to understand that, we can work with it a little better, and we can understand how to clear energy. And there are ways in which you can clear energy, which you'll learn about as we talk even more about the Star Shrine journey. But one thing we are doing for all of you, our audience, is developing a Star Shrine sound activation that will help you connect with the earth energies at these sites remotely, so that you can work with Mother Earth to shift energy in your field. And intention is one of the most powerful things we can employ to shift energy. And we know now that the mind controls so much of our reality. All of it, actually. The mind controls our external reality, our internal reality, our energy field. So as we set intentions, we can shift and change energy within us and around us. So we're developing a product that is going to be available for you soon, so that you can take a similar journey. And we'll talk more about that in our next episode. And as we think of energy clearing, we can think of, facing our shadows, facing those dark parts of ourselves, because as we go through that process, sometimes that's what happens, right? We get an opportunity to meet a part of ourselves that we hadn't met before, or that maybe we had put to the side or suppressed, or maybe an issue with another person or a situation in our life comes to light in a new way that allows us to resolve that issue and take action to resolve that, which can shift and clear energy in our field. So our intention around how we shift energy, and as we start to activate energy in our field, it'll be made known to us what's ready to be released and what's ready to be cleared. And sometimes that's not an easy process. We always want the magic bullet. We always want to have something just poof, be done and be, magically healed, magically in a beautiful place. And while there certainly are miraculous, instantaneous things that can happen from time to time, the process of shifting energy and healing can be a bit of a journey sometimes. So as you embark on that process, be kind with yourself and give yourself some space for what is going to come up and what maybe needs to be addressed or needs to be looked at or needs to be acknowledged, to allow that shifting to occur. And I say this because I've been doing this work for long enough now that it shouldn't be a surprise, but it is still a surprise when that happens. So for instance, on this journey, we both had big lower chakra issues activated that we needed to work through and needed to learn about and needed to shift and clear out of our fields. And we got that opportunity, but it does tend to take you by surprise when the unpleasant stuff comes up and you need to, then spend some time working through that. So I say that as a suggestion for being ready to give yourself space when you engage with this work. And if you want to learn more about the chakras and how each chakra is aligned to the particular set of emotions or physical issues in our body, we have a free chakras ebook you can go check out and download on our website. It's kind of a cheat sheet that gives you just a high-level overview of what you need to know to help you understand how all of those connections form. And one of the things I want to share today is around asking Mother Earth for support. We don't ask for support enough. And we forget that we have this really profound connection with Mother Earth right here, right now. I think so many of us, as we get into our spiritual awakening and we get excited about all the cosmic and galactic things that we can be learning about and engaging with, and as we start to access more aspects of ourselves that have lived in other times and places, that's really exciting and expansive. And so we can be up here a lot, right? And we forget to bring it down to earth, and we forget that we've got this really important connection with this being who is actually our mother. And this being, this planet, is the one who actually gave birth to all of us, or all of our bodies, and our molecular structure comes from the elements of earth. And we have this very, very intimate connection with her that we don't get taught about, and we forget to acknowledge or work with. And so when we start to reframe our understanding of the planet as our mother, and when we can start to work with her as our mother and honor her in that way, and then ask for her support, we can start to experience some really profound changes. And so today, I want you to set an intention to connect with Mother Earth. Mother Earth wants to support you. She wants her children to heal and to be in a better place for everyone. That's her mission. That's her intention, is that we have a thriving, beautiful ecosystem here on the planet. And so as you engage with her and ask for her support and honor her in ways that support a really beautiful ecosystem, she will come to your aid. She will give you the energy that you need to shift and heal. So I want you to set that intention now and start working with her, because as we get into talking about working more with earth energies and utilizing the Star Shrine sound activation tool that we are developing, I want you to be really grounded in that connection with her, so that you both are ready to do the work that you're here to do. So it can be as simple as going outside and saying a prayer to thank her and connect with her. It can be as simple as just noticing her beauty and acknowledging it. It can be as simple as offering gratitude before you eat your meal. It can be as simple as relocating a spider outside instead of killing it. All of those things are acknowledged by Mother Earth as ways in which you are honoring her and her children, and ways in which you are setting an intention to develop a more harmonious relationship with her. So start that process if you haven't started it. And if you have started it, set an intention to go deeper and find a way you can strengthen that connection and make it an even more beautiful connection. Many cultures around our planet present offerings to Mother Earth and present that offering to acknowledge and set an intention that we want to give back, and that we don't want to just take constantly, and that we see her and we see all that she gives, and we see that everything we utilize comes from her. And as we do that and set that intention, like many of the cultures who make offerings, we start to create a different flow of energy, and we can start to utilize her energy in new and more beautiful ways. And so this is something that for myself has been hugely transformational, and I know for Sinéad as well, as we've cultivated that connection with Mother Earth. We've remembered aspects of other lifetimes, even, where we believe other civilizations have this really beautifully interconnected ecosystem and a much deeper sense of responsibility to their planet and to the life that's all around them. And And it's possible for us all to develop that sort of sensitivity, and we need to move forward in better, more positive ways for all of us. And so it starts with each one of us. It starts with those intentions. It starts with those little moments. It starts with how we're honoring. It starts with how we're giving back. It starts with whether we're taking less. And as we all start to do that, Mother Earth can make some even more powerful shifts happen, which can be a really beautiful thing for all of us.
When you're embarking on a spiritual journey, you start to honor and savor the friendships and soulmate bonds that last. Sinead and I found each other last year and knew pretty immediately that we were meant to start the Star Family Wisdom podcast together. And that's exactly how the team at Smudge Wellness got started. Founded by two best friends who bonded over late night therapy sessions, their love of pop music, and of course, crystals. Their approach to spiritual wellness is rooted in self-compassion. They believe in practical magic, that we must embrace our imperfections, and that spiritual wellness is deeply personal. Smudge Wellness offers out-of-this-world tools and rituals for helping you feel more connected to the power you have and to give you the guidance to amplify it. They are also deeply committed to the fight for racial and social equity. And they love Lizzo, so you know they're good people. From smudging kits to crystals to beautiful intention decks, Smudge has beautiful spiritual tools for your practice. So follow the link in the show notes and use code COMMIT at checkout to get 10% off your order.
So I want to talk for a moment about why it's important to focus on shifting and clearing energy in our fields. And if you know of skilled practitioners, they can support you in this process. You can also learn about it on our website and our courses. There are multiple ways you can engage in this process. But when we take on heavy things or traumas or attachments, even with people, the information of that, the imprint of that energy lives in our field, and how our field is imprinted or how our field is programmed with information is essentially how the universe is delivering situations, people, opportunities to us, right? It's kind of like the law of attraction. It's a little more complicated than just that, but we store this information in our field, which is telling the universal computer essentially what we're going to experience. And so we can shift the information in our field and in our personal database to give the universal computer a different set of instructions for what we want to experience. And if you've ever had a situation with, let's say, a coworker or a partner, where all of a sudden you just get so triggered by something, right? Like you become upset, you become maybe shaky, right? Your body goes into fight or flight mode. You're angry, you feel anxiety. That is an energy imprint getting triggered. So there's something from your past that is embedded in your field, some piece of information, some piece of data that is making your mind and body respond in that way. And when we can learn about what that root cause is and then clear that data or that energy from the field, we can then start to react to life differently and have different experiences and attract less of those same experiences, which is really important. So none of us want to be repeating old patterns and old habits, especially the bad ones. We want to be evolving in positive ways. We want to be having new experiences. We want to be connecting with people who serve our highest good, right? We don't want to be marrying the same guy over and over, right? That's an example of a past imprint that is resulting in you repeating certain behavior. So when we start to utilize tools and practices that activate certain energy in our field, we can learn about what those old things are that we need to clear. And we can do that by journeying. We can do that by visiting these earth energy sites. We can do that by setting intentions. We can do that by past life regression. There are so many ways. We can do it through shamanic energy healing. And as we start to learn about what that past thing is that is still driving our actions and behaviors or our reactions to life, we can then let go and release that old thing and start to have those new experiences. So I'll give one very specific example of this from the journey, and then we'll talk about the rest of it when we're together and how we've processed and what that's been like. But I've always had a pretty major fear of heights, but only in certain situations. So I've had a fear of heights when I've been driving on roads where there's a really steep drop off. Like there are times where I can barely function. It's that activating and triggering for me. But when I'm on a plane, that doesn't seem to bother me. If I'm in a tall building, that doesn't seem to bother me. So it really seems to be in these situations where I am literally just on a cliff edge, or there's some way in which I could very imminently fall to my death. So I've always had a thing with that. And I hadn't really experienced a situation that activated that in recent years. So it hasn't really been top of mind for me for energy clearing and healing, because I've been doing lots of that work over the last couple of years, especially and that just wasn't one of the things I focused on because it wasn't really top of mind for me. So anyway, we are going to the first chakra site, which is Mesa Verde. I'd never been there before. I understood it was probably going to have some, elevation, but I was not aware of what the drive would be like. To get to certain sites in Mesa Verde, the drive is a little treacherous. Like you are driving on a 2-lane road. There are very steep drop-offs. You're very high up in the air. Suffice to say that fear, that old imprint got triggered in a major way. And I could barely finish the drive. I didn't finish the drive. We had to stop. And so all of a sudden I, was recognizing, man, I've got this huge imprint, this huge thing being activated, but I don't know where this started. It clearly wasn't something in my current life, so it must be past life related. So I set an intention in that moment, right? That had been activated. Mother Earth helped me activate that as we set the intention for some additional energy clearing on this journey. And I got the opportunity to meet myself in that and understand more fully where that came from. So I set the intention to learn about that. And then at our next site, did some meditation to access past life memories from that specific activation that occurred, assuming that it was coming from a past life event. And sure enough, I was able to access a memory of a trauma that occurred, a pretty major trauma that had carried over into this life and was activating. That imprint was still in my field, and it was activated in certain times and places. And I think it may have been activated in this specific area because of a past life that happened in that specific area. So we'll talk more about that in the future episode where we go deep on the star shrine journey. But that's just an example of when we have an energetic imprint get activated, how we have an opportunity there, right? We can just go with it and just allow that to continue happening in future scenarios, or we can pause and say, okay, something's triggering me here. Something is activating an emotion, a feeling, something even physically that needs to be addressed and looked at. And so I set that intention and then did the subsequent work to release that, to find what it was and do that releasing work so that I can move forward in a different way and not continue to have that experience. And so we take on these imprints from all of our lives. And so our current life is really this amalgamation of all of these past experiences, and part of our spiritual curriculum is to learn from them and release them and move on to new experiences. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to do that learning and that growth, and to have those opportunities to meet ourselves deeper and rise to new levels. Because when we clear that old energy out of the field, we can then replace that with lighter energy. We can then start to have a lighter, more uplifted experience of our reality, which is where we then get into the ability to manifest the things we really want, right? We can't manifest the new things and bring in the new energy if we haven't cleared the old yet. So that's why it's so important to focus on some of that deep, dark healing work, even if, it activates, something within you that you've got to sit with and, dig deep on and do the releasing work around. It's worth it. It's so worth it when you can let that go and have different experiences.
At Star Family Wisdom, we're passionate about helping you become a conscious creator of your reality. Manifestation is absolutely a real thing, but you need the right tools and practices to become a master of manifestation. That's why we've curated a selection of tools that will help you step into your power and harness the creative energy of the universe. Grab our Masters of Manifestation journal to begin the process of writing your intentions into existence, or use our 400 affirmations and mantras and hypnosis recordings to reprogram your mind for success and abundance. And in our Masters of Manifestation course, you get access to over 25 video lessons along with a full toolkit that includes meditations, affirmations, a life vision workbook, a downloadable manifestation journal, limiting beliefs exercises, and quantum journeys to help you connect with your soul. And to help you get started, follow the links in the show notes to access the Masters of Manifestation course or any of our other manifestation tools, and use the code WELCOME at checkout to receive 25% off your first purchase.
At Star Family Wisdom, that's really what we're all about. We're all about how can we let go of the past, release what we don't need anymore, work with the rhythms of nature, work with the energies of nature and the universe to then create a better, more exciting reality for us all. And that starts with energy. That starts with us understanding the world of energy. That starts with us understanding our connection with Mother Earth and how potent that connection really is. I think I didn't realize just how potent that connection is until I did this journey, even though my practice has been deepening over the last couple of years in that respect. And I've been building this relationship with Mother Earth in ways that I never had before. Wow, when we work with Mother Earth's power centers or energy centers, which are all over the globe, not just here in the Southwest, we can have some really profound experiences, some profound healing that can occur. People who have gone into the Great Pyramid have even said, many of them, and this has been scientifically proven, that they have had such big shifts in their energy field. Amazing, miraculous things start to happen. It's because they're working with the energy and the geometry, specifically in the pyramids, but it's also on a power center that can activate that energy in a bigger way. And so we're just excited to bring you along on this journey and help you connect with really potent energy, help you learn about energy, how to work with energy, help you understand how to strengthen your connection with Mother Earth and honor the wisdom that our ancient ancestors and relatives had and that they attempted to carry forth into this era. And so much of that has been lost, but so much of it can be reclaimed. And so we're excited to help you reclaim that and learn about it and embrace it in a way that can support your growth and your healing and support us all living a better life. So with that, we'll wrap up for today. Tune in over the next few weeks for the Star Shrine Journey episode, where we go deep on what it was all about, the experiences we had, and how you can also have a similar experience. And don't forget to like and subscribe, rate and review, leave a comment. Let us know if this resonated. Let us know what questions you have about energy that we can answer in that Star Shrine episode, part 2. And go back to the previous Star Shrine episode if you're not familiar with the star shrines and these sacred sites. It's really cool information that is available to all of us. So have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you next time.